E3 is still a few weeks away, and we're sure to get a plethora of crazy new announcements and release dates. But even with that prospect of even bigger games coming to Switch, this summer is already shaping up to be a very hot one for Switch releases. In this video, I'm going to cover 5 of those games that I will 100% definitely be picking up day one. Now, just so you know, I am going to leave Mario Tennis Aces and Octopath Traveler out of this list. I'm very excited for those. I just feel like I've covered them enough on my channel as it is, and I will already be making quite a few videos on those when they come out, so just stay tuned for that. Instead, I just put in some exciting games that you might not have heard about in their place. Also, at the end of this video, I'll have a sort of pre-channel update announcement with some vague information, but if you're interested in that, stay tuned. And now, in no particular order at all, let's go. Nicalis is a company formed in 2007 by former IGN editor Tyrone Rodriguez. Since their formation, they've really become one of the most prominent publishers to come out of the last 10 years. They recently announced a crossover game featuring characters from multiple Nicalis game universes called Crystal Crisis, but perhaps the most exciting Nicalis crossover to be announced yet is Blade Strangers. This is a traditional 2D fighting game with a similar art style to Dragon Ball FighterZ, with 2D sprites fighting on a 3D stage. The animations aren't quite as crisp as FighterZ or Fighters, whatever you want to call it, but this aesthetic is still super stylish, even today. Blade Strangers is almost like the Super Smash Bros. Of indie games, featuring characters from Nicalis published titles like Cave Story, Binding of Isaac, and Code of Princess, and they even got a hold of some monumental indie characters from games like Azure Striker Gunvolt, and even Shovel Knight. Yes, this could mean that Shovel Knight is not going to make it to Smash, but I really freaking hope not. The CEO of Nicalis claims that the game will combine the speed and dynamics of a game like Street Fighter with the simpler type of inputs like we see in Smash to create a very unique 2D fighting experience. This year is going to go down as one of the best ever for fighting game releases, and Blade Strangers is sure to stand out of the crowd when it releases sometime this summer. First-person shooting games and I have always had a sort of love-hate relationship. There are some weeks where I'll fall into a Destiny or a Call of Duty daze and just play nothing but online multiplayer, but it never seems to last for more than a week because it's essentially just the same mindless gameplay that I've been experiencing since I first got an Xbox 360 more than 10 years ago. There's a reason that this gameplay is still so addictive though, and some of my favorite games of all time, such as BioShock Infinite or Borderlands 2, managed to combine that addictive gameplay with compelling stories and visuals to create an interactive, cinematic experience. Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus, is definitely up there in this category, with a major focus on storytelling and almost 4 hours of cutscenes throughout the single-player campaign. This is a first-person shooter set in an alternate universe where the Nazis took over America, and you're an American hero set on taking them down. It sounds pretty cliche, I know, but I mean, come on. There's nothing more wholesome and fun than blowing up a bunch of Nazis. The game even features a subtle jab at alt-right leader Richard Spencer, who forever ruined this hairstyle for me, which I'm still really mad about. Really, this game will be worth a play just for the story, and there's also some really cool and unique guns to choose from throughout. And oh yeah, did I mention you get to kill Nazis? Wolfenstein 2, The New Colossus is dropping very soon on June 29th. Before there were finely tuned 2D adventure masterpieces such as Shovel Knight or Gunvolt, there were original masterpieces that inspired those kids of the 80s to grow up and make their own personal adventure. One of the best series to come out of this golden age is Wonder Boy. Monster Boy and the Cursed Kingdom is a spiritual successor to the Wonder Boy series, set in a large open world where you'll have to solve action and platforming puzzles alike to progress in the story at your own pace. The fundamental idea of the game is similar to Mega Man in that you gradually unlock different forms with different abilities that let you interact with your environment in different ways. We still have no official release date yet, but As of April, the developers claim that this game will be arriving late summer, so keep a lookout as this is shaping up to be one of the best 2D adventure games coming out this year. Captain Toad Treasure Tracker is a really good example for why Nintendo is still a prominent game developer in 2018. This game is essentially just a collect-a-thon puzzle game, but they managed to make the way in which you collect all of these items like nothing you'll see in any other game. Each stage can be viewed from pretty much all angles with one thumbstick, while the other thumbstick controls Toad himself. And you've got to find a synergy between these two sticks to find 3 diamonds in each level, as well as a few other collectibles. It sounds pretty simple, and it is, but there's tons of stage-specific gimmicks thrown in there as well to keep things spicy. The level design here is phenomenal. This was one of my favorite games on Wii U, and while I'm not 100% down with the Wii U's entire greatest hits all being ported over to Switch, this is just one that makes sense. This new version even features some new levels, including a few inspired by Super Mario Odyssey, and who doesn't love that game? I have now beaten every single level in a game called Death Squared, so I'm excited to have a new puzzle game to scratch that itch when I need it next, and I will definitely be picking this up day 1 on July 13th. Leading up to E3, there's been a whole lot of buzz about Fortnite Battle Royale coming to Nintendo Switch. The Battle Royale genre in general is really the biggest thing in gaming right now, so it does make sense for it to land on Nintendo Switch while it's still piping hot. Even if we don't get Fortnite though, there's still one Battle Royale game that we know for sure will be coming in the near future. Crazy Justice looks very similar to Fortnite, except with cel-shaded graphics with that same over-the-shoulder third-person view that we've seen Epic use since Gears of War. The twist here though is that this is also a hero-based shooter, similar to Overwatch in that you have a set weapon and skill set depending on which class or hero you pick. The jury is still out on how this is going to work in a Battle Royale mode, but it does intrigue me quite a bit. It's not something we've really seen in a Battle Royale game, and if they balance those classes right, it could be a super fun new way to play. The game also boasts a full story mode and other online multiplayer modes as well, which will feature cross-network play with PC and Xbox, so you shouldn't ever have trouble finding a game. Crazy Justice was crowdfunded through Fig, and while it is well past its goal at this point, you can still pre-order it and get a $10 discount for a limited time, which I definitely recommend doing before it releases this summer, and you probably decide to buy it when the real hype boat takes sail to the Nintendo seas. The summertime is always one of the best times each year for exciting new game releases, and while I'm not sure if any summer in the future will ever be able to beat out last summer's triple threat lineup of ARMS, then Splatoon 2, then Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle, all back to back, this summer is shaping up already to be pretty great on its own. Now I'm sorry for the sort of quick and less in-depth video this week. I'm actually in South Dakota this weekend for my grandparents' 60th wedding anniversary, which is a long time, so congrats to them. But next week I'll be back with more videos, and also in the next couple of weeks, not 100% sure when it'll be, I'll be providing a big channel update video with some new announcements, including schedule changes, the reintroduction of my weekly live stream, so that's exciting, and just better content in general at a higher quantity each week, so stay tuned for that in the next couple of weeks. Let me know which games you're most excited for this summer down in the comments, leave a like on the video if you enjoyed, and subscribe to my channel for the latest Switch content available. This has been Max from Max Culture, and thank you so much for watching.